I am an heiress. Because of my rare blood type, my parents went to the Appalachian region to find a child with the same blood type as me to be a backup blood bank. As compensation, my parents adopted her. The day I returned home from a 3-year study abroad program, I discovered that my two brothers, who had always doted on me, were throwing a lavish birthday party for my adopted sister, Nicole Sullivan. In front of all the guests, they announced that Nicole Sullivan was the true heiress of the Sullivan family, and I was just a backup blood bank. Nicole Sullivan wanted my room to be her art studio, so they threw my belongings into the servants' quarters. Nicole Sullivan wanted shares in the company, so they took the stock transfer agreement my dad had left me and gave it to Nicole Sullivan without a second thought. And because Nicole Sullivan liked my fiancé, the person betrothed through an arranged marriage was changed from me to her. In my previous life, I was tormented to death, and out of consideration for family ties, I didn't fight back. Now that I've been reborn, I just want to destroy everyone. 01 Through the noisy ballroom, I saw Nicole Sullivan surrounded by a group of people showering her with compliments. When they said that I, the adopted daughter, wasn't worth a toenail of hers, I yanked off the pink diamond necklace around her neck. This is unique, the birthday gift Dad spent a fortune to buy for me. You're just an orphan from Hicksville, shamelessly showing off someone else's things. Have you no shame? Everyone was stunned, and soon, mocking voices erupted. Is Sophia Evans sleepwalking? Causing such a scene at her own sister's birthday party? She's desperate for attention. Hicksville trash is still Hicksville trash. My two brothers, having heard the commotion, rushed over to protect Nicole Sullivan. Nicole Sullivan covered her neck, her eyes reddening with a look of grievance. My elder brother immediately took off his suit jacket and draped it over her, anxiously shouting for the butler to get the first aid kit, afraid that he'd be a second too late to see the faint red mark on Nicole Sullivan's neck. My second brother forcefully pushed me away, angrily yelling, "Sophia Evans, are you crazy? How dare you hurt your sister? That necklace is the birthday gift Dad bought for his own daughter. Are you his own daughter? Don't be shameless, give me the necklace." I clenched it tightly in my hand and sneered, "Own daughter? Is she real, and I'm fake? David Sullivan, did you hit your head? You can't even recognize your own sister. Dare you say that to Dad's face?" David Sullivan's face turned purple with anger. Nicole Sullivan tugged on him and sighed understandingly, "It's okay, second brother. After all, little sister came from the backwoods and has never had any manners. Don't bother with her. It's my fault as her older sister for not guiding her well. I'm also responsible. If it weren't for my special blood type, Dad and Mom would be worried about something happening to me. They would have been forced to bring her home as an adopted daughter. In the end, it's my own body that's letting me down. It's only right that I let her have her way a little more." I almost laughed out loud. She was doing it again with her signature move. In my previous life, I had had enough of Nicole Sullivan's subtle jabs. She loved to be in a crowd, saying things that seemed to be considerate of me but were actually putting me down everywhere while gilding herself. She made everyone think that I was just a piece of trash who couldn't be brought to the table, while she, Nicole Sullivan, was like the bright moon in the sky. The truth was, she was a good-for-nothing who needed the Sullivan family to pull strings for her even to get into community college. As expected, the guests were brainwashed and started whispering. Nicole Sullivan deserves to be the heiress of the richest family. She's kind-hearted and knows what's important, unlike some people who think they're phoenixes just because they have a chicken feather stuck in their butts. What a joke. Exactly. The Sullivan family feeds and takes care of an orphan who crawled out of the Hicksville, and she's still not satisfied. She actually covets the things of the real heiress. It's outrageous. Nicole Sullivan shook her head, a look of helplessness she was used to. It's okay if I suffer a little. Everyone, please don't blame my sister anymore. After all, I can understand her jealousy coming from a poor and remote place. I will guide her well and try my best to put her on the right path. After a series of deliberately generous remarks, people immediately began to feel sorry for her. Miss Nicole Sullivan, you're too kind. Yeah, you're so good-tempered and indulgent towards her. That kind of ungrateful wretch won't be polite to you. Hearing this, my elder brother stared at the diamond necklace in my hand, his tone unquestionable. Give me the necklace. My eyes turned red with anger. This, unique, is Dad's gift to me. He narrowed his eyes dangerously. Sophia Evans, the Sullivan residence is raising you, not to let you bully my own sister. If you can't recognize your status as an adopted daughter, then get out of this house. I couldn't believe that these words were coming from my elder brother, who had always loved me. My heart turned cold in an instant. I laughed out loud. It's not up to you to tell me to get out of this house. No one is taking this necklace today. My second brother exploded and roared at the butlers and servants around him. Are you all dead? Just watching this brat snatch Miss Sullivan's things? Hurry up and get it back. The butler rolled up her sleeves and was the first to rush forward. I knew she had been bought off the moment she exchanged several glances with Nicole Sullivan. I grabbed a wine bottle from the side, smashed it hard on the dessert table, and pointed the jagged edge at her. I want to see who dares. You better think carefully about who the real young lady of this house is. Sullivan pays your wages. If anyone dares to touch me today, I'll have them fired tomorrow. My fierce demeanor intimidated everyone. Many of them had worked for the Sullivan residence for many years and knew me, so they were nervous and dared not move. The butler suddenly rushed forward, snatched the necklace, and handed it to Nicole Sullivan obsequiously. Miss Sullivan, I'm an old-timer in this house. I've watched you grow up. No one can impersonate you, and no one can take away what belongs to you. This necklace was made just for you. I kicked the lackey hard in the back of her knees. Who gave you the guts to snatch something from me when you work for my family? What, did Nicole Sullivan pay you more than my dad and mom? The butler's eyes darted around guiltily. Nicole Sullivan rushed over to protect the butler. Sister, if you have any resentment, just come at me. Why are you bullying Aunt Susan? She's so old. Even if she says a few words to you, it's because she feels sorry for me for having my things snatched away by you all the time. Although this pink diamond necklace is a birthday gift that Dad spent a fortune on for me, you've been coveting it for a long time. You even secretly took it out and wore it several times when I wasn't home. I can forgive all of that. As long as you don't bully Aunt Susan anymore, I'll give you this necklace. After she finished speaking, a tear fell at just the right moment. I pointed at my own nose in disbelief. Me? Covetous? Me, an heiress, jealous of her coming from the backwoods? Or jealous of her constant use of tea ceremony theatrics? I almost threw up, but the guests couldn't stand it anymore. Some people bite off more than they can chew. They've only had a few good days and think they're the heiress of the richest family. And they're bullying a servant? They should take a look in the mirror and pee on themselves. Sophia Evans is too vicious. She's the real-life version of the farmer and the snake. Miss Nicole Sullivan is so pitiful. The real Miss is being bullied by a wild bird like this. A good birthday party ruined by this piece of trash. What a jinx. My elder brother frowned. Haven't you made enough trouble? Are you going to be satisfied only after you've completely disgraced the Sullivan residence? The reason this necklace is called unique is that Dad wanted to announce to everyone that Nicole Sullivan is his only biological daughter. Have we been too good to you all these years, making you forget what you originally were? My second brother suggested, why don't we just send her back to Hicksville? With the Sullivan Enterprises financial resources, it wouldn't be difficult to find another person with the same blood type as Nicole Sullivan. I looked at my two brothers, who had pampered me since I was little, and felt a chill run down my spine. Dad and Mom spent a lot of money and found several children with the same blood type as me, and let me pick one to bring back as an adopted daughter. But after my elder brother and second brother looked at the photos of these children, they all unanimously wanted Nicole Sullivan. I thought it didn't matter who it was as long as they were there to keep me company as I grew up and could give me some blood when I needed it. Looking back now, their reactions back then were very strange. Two people with such different personalities actually chose the same girl at the same time. In my previous life, they also took advantage of this business trip of my parents to throw a lavish birthday party for Nicole Sullivan. They not only announced in public that Nicole Sullivan was the true heiress of the Sullivan family, but also said that I was a backup blood bank that Dad and Mom paid to keep at home. I was scolded by everyone for being shameless, and in the end, because of a few words of provocation from Nicole Sullivan, I was forced by my two brothers to drink a whole bottle of high-proof whiskey and locked in a dark basement. When Dad and Mom came back, my body, which had died of alcohol poisoning, had already begun to rot. In the past, I would have burst into tears and been unable to even speak straight if I had been slandered like this by my most respected brothers, let alone defend myself. This time, I stood up straight. You know very well who the real heiress of the Sullivan residence is. You're bullying me in front of so many people. When Dad and Mom come back, I'll see how you explain yourselves. Even after being scolded like this, she's still so tough. Some of the guests at the scene who weren't stupid began to waver. Could Sophia Evans really be the heiress? Don't say that, although she's dressed plainly, she does look a lot like Mrs. Sullivan. Hearing the guests begin to turn against her, a trace of panic flashed across Nicole Sullivan's face. She bit her lip and choked with grievance. Sister, I'll give you the necklace if you want it. Why do you have to make trouble? You know very well that today is my birthday party. Are you deliberately trying to embarrass me? Fine, fine, as long as you don't disgrace the Sullivan residence and embarrass Dad and Mom and my brothers. I admit that you are the real heiress of the Sullivan residence, and I'm just an adopted daughter. Are you satisfied now? After she finished speaking, she bowed deeply to the audience. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry for not being able to entertain you all today because of me. I, the adopted daughter, really don't deserve such a good birthday party. I'm sorry. Nicole Sullivan cried her eyes out, looking exactly like a pitiful person who was willing to sacrifice her reputation for the sake of her family's honor and was being forced into a corner by an ungrateful wretch. The guests were all furious. Sophia Evans, the Sullivan residence feeds you and clothes you, but you're forcing your benefactor into this state. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning and sleeping with one eye open at night? Even beasts are more human than you. What kind of evil has the Sullivan residence committed to be stuck with such a disgusting leech? Apologize to Miss Nicole Sullivan immediately. Just as everyone was filled with righteous indignation, a tall figure walked out of the crowd. It was Harry Parker, who had been betrothed to me since childhood. He was wearing a black suit and had his hair slicked back. He wasn't bad looking, but the words he spoke made me lose my appetite. Sophia Evans, I know you're only saying you're the real heiress of the Sullivan residence because you're madly in love with me. But you've gone too far today. Seeing Nicole Sullivan's tear-streaked face, he felt sorry for her and immediately declared, the only person I've ever loved and will ever love is Nicole Sullivan. Even if you cling to me, I won't give you a second glance. I've seen too many women like you. You're greedy, you bully the weak and fear the strong, and you want to marry me to become a rich lady. Don't you take a look at yourself and see if your vulgar, shrewish look is suitable? My wife should be kind and generous like Nicole Sullivan. He gently took out a handkerchief and wiped away Nicole Sullivan's tears. When I looked up, I saw the undisguised smugness in Nicole Sullivan's eyes. But she had to pretend to be virtuous and generous. Brother Harry Parker, don't say that about little sister. She's just a little jealous, a little mean, a little shallow, a little fond of distorting the truth, and she fantasizes about being the real heiress every day. Other than these, she doesn't have any other bad intentions. When people are speechless, they really want to laugh. Harry Parker, who relied on my family to leak a little bit between their fingers to make a fortune, was saying I was trying to seduce him. I'm not crazy or stupid. A pair of lunatics. Before I could speak, the guests who were on good terms with Nicole Sullivan began to sneer. Sophia Evans, what's that expression on your face? Are you jealous? Young Master Parker has personally said that he will only marry Nicole Sullivan. Where did you, this clown come from? Get out of here. Someone covered their mouth and snickered. She's probably still not giving up and is dreaming that she's the heiress of the Sullivan residence and wants to marry young Master Parker. Oh my God, she's going to such lengths to offer herself. How shameless. At this time, Nicole Sullivan spoke up pretentiously, everyone, please be understanding. I was born with good fortune, but she was born in a desolate mountain and has never had parents since she was little. She was sold by her relatives to an old man in his 60s to be his wife. She's too deprived of love, so she's triggered. We should give more love to people with such mental disabilities. In my 20 years of life, I had never seen a person who could be so shameless. Everything Nicole Sullivan said was about what had happened to her. If my parents hadn't adopted her in time, she would have had 2 children with that old geezer in his 60s by now. Nicole Sullivan, you're the one with mental disabilities. If I had known you were such a shameless person, I should have advised Dad and Mom not to adopt you and let you be locked up with that old geezer for the rest of your life. Nicole Sullivan's eyes instantly reddened, and she cried with grievance, Sister, I knew you would turn the tables again. Would you only be happy if all the bad things were blamed on me? Then let's just say that. That way, will you feel better and stop having a fit and scaring the guests? My elder brother couldn't bear it anymore. Sophia Evans, enough. The Sullivan residence could raise a dog and it would be more useful than you. After he finished speaking, he asked my second brother to go to the study to get a document. When I saw Nicole Sullivan's name written on the stock transfer agreement that was brought out, I froze on the spot as if struck by lightning. For the entire ballroom was stunned. That was 60% of the shares of Sullivan Enterprises. It allowed direct decision-making on any company matter. Before going abroad as an exchange student, Dad had personally shown me the stock transfer agreement, saying that it would be given to me as a birthday gift when I returned home. Dad wouldn't lie to me. So the only liars were Michael Sullivan and David Sullivan. See clearly, Dad signed and sealed document in black and white. If you're the real heiress of the Sullivan residence, why isn't your name on it? My elder brother threw the document hard in my face. He wasn't afraid that I would tear it up on the spot. In front of so many people, as long as I tore it, it would confirm that I was guilty. The handwriting on the document was indeed Dad's, and so was the seal that Dad kept locked in the safe. My vision went black, and a terrible thought flashed through my mind. Had my dad been killed by these 2 heartless brothers? But I immediately rejected the idea. Before I came back, my parents had called me and said they would be back tomorrow. At this moment, Nicole Sullivan came over with a hypocritical smile. Sister, even if you've been trying your best to replace my identity, the real can't be fake, and the fake can't be real. Who told you that you were born unlucky and were born in the backwoods? But don't worry, since you're my backup blood bank and I've been your sister for so many years, I won't mistreat you. She raised her hand and beckoned a short and fat man in the distance to come over. The man rubbed his hands and rushed towards me with a silly smile. I quickly dodged and didn't let him touch me. Wasn't this the butler's idiotic son with an IQ of only 5 years old? Seeing the drool dripping from the corner of his mouth, I felt disgusted. But my elder brother spoke up at this time. What are you dodging for? You're going to marry him soon. He'll be your husband from now on. It won't hurt to let him hug you. The butler's eyes lit up with joy. But I stared in shock. Were my ears playing tricks on me, or was he just spouting nonsense? My second brother impatiently pushed me. You're a piece of trash who came from the backwoods and was ruined by an old man in his 60s. You're lucky that this idiot wants you. Nicole Sullivan is kind-hearted. For the sake of your life's events, she specially gave up her birthday party to be your wedding banquet. All of us, your elder brothers and sisters, are here today, so we've decided for you. You're getting married now. After you get married, be obedient, and we can still treat you as a sister. Nicole Sullivan covered her mouth and giggled. Sister, you just hit Aunt Susan, but she didn't hold it against you. How about this? You kneel down and present her with bride's tea, and we'll let this matter go. Give Aunt Susan a fat grandson soon. Aunt Susan is such a good person, she won't mistreat you. That's right, that's right. After the tea, you'll be my daughter-in-law. Sleep with my son tonight. I was so angry that my eyes were spitting fire. I kicked Aunt Susan, who fell to the ground and cried. I said coldly, if you dare to touch me, my dad and mom will skin you alive when they come back. She was so frightened that she flinched and her voice became softer. And you, Michael Sullivan, David Sullivan, if you dare to do such a thing to harm me today, Dad and Mom will never let you go. The surrounding guests whispered, but no one stepped forward to stop me. After all, we're still at the Sullivan residence. Since she's Miss Nicole Sullivan's backup blood bank, the Sullivan residence won't mistreat you. That's right. You've already been slept with by an old man in his 60s. Now, at least it's a young man. You've made a huge profit. What are you being so pretentious about? My second brother walked over and grabbed both of my hands. Which foot did you use to kick Aunt Susan? This one, right? He kicked me in the back of my knees. At first, I could endure the pain, but after the second kick, I couldn't bear it anymore and knelt down. I struggled to get up, gritting my teeth. Let go of me. I'm the real heiress of the Sullivan residence. Nicole Sullivan is the imposter. No one paid attention to me. Some people even laughed at me for having another episode of my delusions. My elder brother held down my shoulders. You stole Nicole Sullivan's things, and you even dared to hit your mother-in-law. As the eldest son of the Sullivan residence, I'm going to teach you how to behave today. They each pressed down on one of my shoulders and pressed my head to the ground. The idiot next to me pounced on me and drooled as he shouted, "Honeymoon, honeymoon." I couldn't move. Tears of humiliation and despair fell down. Just then, a familiar, stern voice came from the door. Stop. What are you doing to my precious daughter? Hearing Dad's voice, the strength in my body instantly disappeared. I collapsed to the ground and saw Dad and Mom rushing towards me with heartache on their faces. The grievances and shame in my heart made me unable to hold back any longer. I sobbed, Dad, Mom, you're finally back. Mom wiped away my tears and hugged me tightly, her heart breaking with pain. Good girl, don't be afraid. Mom is back. Dad looked coldly at the two brothers who were standing there stiffly. Was it you who pressed my daughter's head to the ground to bow to this old thing, and you let this idiot bully her? The ballroom fell silent. Only the idiot was still giggling non-stop. Honeymoon, honeymoon. When my dad heard this, he exploded and kicked the idiot away. The butler screamed and was about to rush up, but my dad glared at her. Did I let you move? Several well-trained bodyguards in black suits and sunglasses stood in a row outside the door. When the butler saw this formation, her legs went weak and she knelt on the ground. My elder brother frowned in annoyance. Dad, Mom, didn't you say you were coming back tomorrow? Why are you back early? My mom snorted coldly. If we hadn't come back early today, we wouldn't have known that you were treating my precious daughter like this. When the guests at the scene heard this, they were all stunned. So Sophia Evans is the real heiress of the Sullivan residence. Did these two brothers' brains get water? They actually helped a fake bully their own sister like this. That's right. They even forced their own sister to marry an idiot. No one would do such an outrageous thing. The most disgusting thing is that adopted daughter. She's obviously a fake, but she insists that she's the real heiress. She's acting so well. She has no shame. The Appalachian region produces unruly people, but it also produces green tea bitches. Hearing these words, Nicole Sullivan's face turned pale, and her eyes flashed with embarrassment and unwillingness. My elder brother immediately spoke up for her. It has nothing to do with Nicole Sullivan. It was Sophia Evans who was looking for trouble. She not only stole Nicole Sullivan's things, but she also made a scene at Nicole Sullivan's birthday party, disgracing our Sullivan residence. As her elder brother, I was just teaching her a little lesson for her own good. My mom couldn't listen anymore and slapped him hard. If you can't speak human language, then cut off your tongue. You don't deserve to be Sophia Evans's elder brother. My daughter, whom I hold in the palm of my hand like a treasure, I can't bear to let her get a scratch since she was little, but you made her kneel to a butler in public. My second brother immediately quibbled. Mom, Sophia Evans has no respect for her elders and even hit Aunt Susan. I don't think she was studying abroad. She must have been messing around with blonde devils every day and learned a lot of rogue tricks. As her elder brothers, we were educating her by making her kneel. Was she right to hit someone? You're making too much of a fuss. My dad was amused. Oh, you said my daughter was acting like a shrew. How did she act like a shrew? Did she kick you in the head or kick you in the crotch? My dad used to be a contractor and had seen all kinds of low-down tricks. He had become much more restrained after making a fortune. I was his only weakness. Whoever dared to touch me was pulling the tiger's teeth. My second brother hesitated and didn't dare to speak. Nicole Sullivan walked over pitifully. Dad, Mom, don't blame my two brothers. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have had a birthday party and shouldn't have dreamed of being blessed by everyone like other girls. She thought her tea ceremony skills were so good that she could defeat everyone in the world. But unfortunately, my dad and mom were the exceptions. It is your fault. My mom was so angry that she didn't give her any face. Don't you know what your identity is? Who gave you the face to ride on my daughter's head and act like a tyrant? 6. After a few good years, you don't even know that your name used to be Li Jianmei? The Sullivan residence feeds you and gives you drinks. I didn't expect you to have such a big appetite. If my dad and Sophia Evans's dad hadn't come back today, you would have taken the title of heiress of the Sullivan residence for granted. Do you have any shame? The guests leaned together, and their contempt for Nicole Sullivan soared. Nicole Sullivan was ashamed and humiliated. I hugged Mom's arm and cried even more pitifully than she did. Mom, I thought I wasn't your and Dad's biological daughter. Just now, elder sister said I stole her necklace, but that necklace was clearly bought by Dad and given to me. I wanted to take it back, but Aunt Susan snatched it away and gave it to elder sister, so I got angry and kicked her. My brothers made me kneel down and apologize to Aunt Susan, and they even wanted to force me to marry Aunt Susan's idiotic son, saying that you weren't here and that they were my elder brothers and could make the decision for me. If you hadn't come back just in time, they would have. Before I could finish speaking, Dad and Mom's eyes were bloodshot. They thought I had been bullied and beaten on the ground, but they didn't expect that I had almost been ruined. Thinking of my previous life, Dad and Mom did come back the next day and saw my dead body. In an instant, they looked decades older. This time, they came early and protected me. Dad grabbed my elder brother's collar in a rage and threw him into the champagne tower that was taller than a person without giving him a chance to explain. The glass crashed down and fell on my elder brother. I'm not dead yet, and you dare to act like the head of the family and treat my precious daughter like this. I think you're tired of living. Seeing this, my second brother's face turned pale with fear and he wanted to run, but he was held down by the bodyguards. My dad pressed down on his head. You were so enthusiastic about forcing your sister to head to the ground just now, weren't you? Do it, why don't you head to the ground yourself? You forced my daughter to marry an idiot. Today, you're going to head to the ground until you become an idiot. My second brother didn't dare to resist and immediately slapped himself. Dad, I was wrong, I really know I was wrong. His hypocrisy didn't earn him any sympathy. Looking at the chaotic scene, Nicole Sullivan immediately knelt down. Dad, Mom, don't hit my brothers. They only made a small mistake because they felt sorry for me. I'll apologize to little sister for them. Please, little sister, don't make any more trouble. After all, they're your own brothers. Don't you care about family ties at all? Even now, she still wants to morally blackmail me. I just won't let her get her way. Pointing to the trembling butler, you, tell me what's going on. Nicole Sullivan gasped and hurriedly tried to stop her, but my mom coldly glared at her, and she could only shrink back unwillingly and nervously. Seeing that the situation was not good, the butler immediately shirked responsibility. "Sir, madam, it has nothing to do with me. It was all Nicole Sullivan. It was she who gave me the idea, saying that at the birthday party, she had a way to make Miss Sullivan marry my son. Cooked rice before you came back from your business trip, and you can only recognize my son as your son-in-law. She also said that if you asked, just say that the young lady got drunk and rushed into my son's room, acting like a slut. She gave me $2 million to cooperate with her in acting. As long as it confirms the young lady is an adopted daughter, no one will say anything. I just wanted to secure a future for my son. He's an idiot, and I won't have to worry about him not being taken care of after I die." I was just momentarily blinded by greed. My mom couldn't listen anymore and kicked away the butler who was trying to cling to her. "Drunk? How could you even think of that? My Sophia Evans is highly allergic to alcohol. She hasn't touched a drop of anything alcoholic since she was a child. Have you been feeding your brain to the dogs for the 20 years Sullivan pays your wages?" Just then, I saw Nicole Sullivan secretly hiding the stock transfer agreement behind her back. My expression changed, and I looked up and asked Dad, since I'm your biological daughter, why would you transfer 60% of the company's stock to Nicole Sullivan? Nicole Sullivan was so frightened that she didn't dare to breathe. My dad was confused. "Nonsense, what is she? I'd have to be crazy to transfer stock to her. You're my baby. It's you I want to give it to." 7. Getting an affirmative answer, I grabbed the stock transfer agreement that Nicole Sullivan was hiding behind her back and handed it to Dad. Dad's face darkened immediately. He turned to look at David Sullivan, who was swaying as he stood up, looking guilty. He slammed the document hard on his bloody forehead. "Is this what you meant by opening a huge account for Sophia Evans, needing to use my seal? I only lent you 30 seconds, and you changed the stock transfer agreement I was giving to Sophia Evans. David Sullivan, do you even know who your sister is?" David Sullivan was unreasonable but confident. "Nicole Sullivan has suffered so much in the backwoods, I just wanted to treat her a little better. What's wrong with that? Is it such a big deal to give her a little stock? Isn't she Sophia Evans's backup blood bank? If we don't treat her well, no one will save Sophia Evans when she dies." My mom's eyes turned red with anger. "Nicole Sullivan is just an adopted daughter. Even without her, we could find someone else with a matching blood type. Sophia Evans has been healthy all these years, and we haven't let her donate blood even once, yet she enjoys the same food, clothing, and other things as Sophia Evans. The Sullivan residence has never mistreated her in the slightest. And what does she do? She's scheming to marry my daughter to an idiot and take the title of heiress for herself. What is she?" She pointed at David Sullivan's nose and said something that shocked everyone. "You and she are the same, both ungrateful wretches. If I had known this, your dad and I shouldn't have picked you up from the orphanage back then." The whole ballroom erupted in an uproar. The guests were almost choked by this bombshell. Even I was taken aback. But soon, I calmed down. Oh my God, Michael Sullivan is not the Sullivan's biological son. This is too explosive. Michael Sullivan crawled over like a dog and grabbed Dad's leg. "Dad, I'm your biological son. Now you only have one son left." Dad coldly kicked him away. "With your uselessness, all you do is hang out in bars and chase girls. Are you my son? You don't look anything like me. I'm not as ugly as you." He pointed to David Sullivan and Michael Sullivan. "Both of you were brought back from the orphanage. If you hadn't been left at the door in the dead of winter, nearly freezing to death, my wife and I wouldn't have decided to bring you back and raise you to bring blessings to my Sophia Evans. In this house, only Sophia Evans is my biological daughter, the only treasure of me, Sullivan." The two of them had their secrets exposed, their faces filled with anger and embarrassment. But there was no shock. As I had guessed. They already knew they weren't the biological sons of this family, which is why they were so ruthless in attacking me. Many of the guests were shrewd people. Connecting the dots, they all gasped. So these outsiders joined forces to try to kill the real heiress. They're trying to take everything. Dad didn't want to waste any more words and signaled the bodyguards to throw the two brothers and Nicole Sullivan out together. David Sullivan was anxious. Dad, even if I'm not your biological son, I've been filial to you for so many years, helping you manage the company. Now I've only made a small mistake, and you want to kick me out? It would have been better if he hadn't said anything. As soon as he said that, Dad immediately turned hostile. A small mistake? You almost killed my daughter, and you call that a small mistake? If I hadn't raised you for more than 10 years, do you think you could still stand here unharmed? Get out of here, and don't let me see you again. David Sullivan's face turned pale. He decided to give up. The Sullivan residence has no sons. You think this blonde girl can support such a big family business? Don't dream. I'm waiting for the day you kneel down and beg me to come back. After the three of them left, Mom was still angry. Why not just call the police and arrest them all to save trouble? How dare they treat my daughter like this? I'm going to make them rot in jail. Mom, the three of them owe everything they have today to the Sullivan residence. Dad wants them to realize that without the Sullivan residence, they can't even be trash. If they're locked up, they'll still have food and drink. Outside, they might not even be able to find enough to eat and drink. I have to say, the older generation is always wiser. Dad nodded with a smile. Dad will go get it notarized immediately and transfer all the company's stock to you. At this moment, the butler timidly walked over, still wanting to please him. Dad ordered the bodyguards, cut off her livelihood in the country, including everyone here today who kicked my daughter when she was down. In this way, they would have to rely on begging to survive. A chorus of wails arose on the scene, but I didn't feel any sympathy. People have to be responsible for their actions. If you choose to hurt others, you have to be prepared to be retaliated against. Dad also had the surveillance footage brought up. Anyone present tonight who slandered or cursed me, without exception, would be blacklisted from cooperation and banned from the industry. The next day, the Parker family prepared generous gifts and brought Harry Parker to the door. Dad wouldn't even let them in. Mr. Sullivan, the only person I love is Sophia Evans. Please give me a chance. Dad had watched yesterday's surveillance footage and his impression of Harry Parker was already extremely poor. It would have been one thing if he hadn't come to the door, but now he was sticking his head out to be beaten. My Sophia Evans can't stand you loving this one today and that one tomorrow. Get out of here. This arranged marriage was originally your family shamelessly pushing for it. I never acknowledged it. You've been saying everywhere that my daughter and you are in an arranged marriage. We, the Sullivan residents, still have some decency that you Parkers lack. Oh, right, the one you loved the most yesterday is now living under the overpass. Go find her and wish them a happy life together. The Parker family was extremely embarrassed and had no face to stay any longer. They dragged Harry Parker away. Half a month later, on the day I took over as chairman of Sullivan Enterprises, 3 dirty beggars rushed out from the side of the road. The bodyguards immediately stopped them. I took a closer look and recognized them as David Sullivan and his group. It had only been half a month, and they had already become like this. Thinking of how arrogantly he had left that day, I only found it laughable. I am the eldest son of the Sullivan residence. How dare you blind people stop me? Don't you want to work anymore? I should be the chairman today. Passers-by speculated that this was someone who had escaped from a mental hospital. David Sullivan was hunched over, looking even more miserable. I am the second son of the Sullivan residence. I don't need to be the chairman. Can you give me some money? $100, no, 50 will do. I'm really too hungry. Please help. Are you guys even capable? You can't even get a few $100. I still want to eat a big meal and buy new clothes and a purse. You're both useless trash. Michael Sullivan slapped her in the face, fiercely saying, How dare you say that? If it weren't for you, would we have ended up like this? It's all because of you, you bitch. The more he spoke, the angrier he became. He grabbed Nicole Sullivan's hair and beat her in the street. David Sullivan was also furious, kicking and punching Nicole Sullivan. The whole street was filled with Nicole Sullivan's screams. I twitched the corners of my mouth, having watched enough of the dog-eat-dog show, and turned to walk into the elevator. The assistant had already told me the results of the investigation a few days ago. It turned out that the three of them were originally children from the same orphanage. Nicole Sullivan was taken away by a family who favored her, and as the childhood crush of the two men, a thorn had been stuck in their hearts. Until they were brought back to the Sullivan residence, they secretly used the Sullivan residence's connections to search for her. They finally found Nicole Sullivan, who had been sold several times and given to a 60-year-old man in the Appalachian region to be his wife. They tried every means to bring her back, but they didn't have a good excuse. It just so happened that Mom and Dad were going to bring home an adopted daughter with the same blood type as me. Nicole Sullivan's blood type was completely different from mine. It had been secretly switched by them. They had been planning for many years, keeping their dream girl under their noses, using the Sullivan residence's money to compensate for the guilt in their hearts. Nicole Sullivan's ambition had been fed by them, one bite at a time. She was jealous of my glamour and wanted to take my place. I looked down from the floor-to-ceiling windows on the top floor. Nicole Sullivan had already been beaten and was lying on the ground, with a pool of blood seeping beside her. I sneered in my heart and called the police. For selfish people like them, the dream girl is only suitable to be hung in the sky. Once taken down, she's just a grain of rice stuck to your clothes.